starting five intact, 11-2 on the season when all five guys are in the starting lineup.
Good crowd despite the weather outside here at the Kohl Center, where Illinois has had some success recently. There's a drive from Terrence Shannon Jr., and he's denied at the rim.
I like that action to get Shannon Jr. to his strong left hand going to the bucket. Gets to the free throw line better than any player in the Big Ten.
In terms of makes and attempts, is Tyler Wall using the body to lip it out.
That's a common action that Wisconsin tries to get going early. Tyler Wall at the bucket, just didn't finish the bunny.
We asked Brad Underwood before the game, what's a good sign in the first 10 minutes? He said, as long as it's not as ugly as the first 10 minutes in the first meeting, I think we'll both be happy, basically. Matthew Meyer misses too strong, and off the air ball, here comes Max Klesmit, the Wofford transfer.
It's really good defense by the freshman, he's sieging.
Klesmit tunneling into the lane. I mean, he was 12, 16 stitches after that shot he took at Penn State and going right to the rim here, as Illinois does on the other end for the opening two for Jaden Epps.
Jaden Epps is one of a group of talented freshmen in this conference.
Welcome back, Max Klesmit.
Oh, he's a huge boost. Not necessarily from points per game, just shy of 8. But a defensive presence, a confidence presence, which the Badgers have struggled with here in the last week.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Greg Gard was not happy with the defense in that game against Maryland that you did a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Maryland got after him a little bit, spread him out, full court pressure, got after the guards a little bit.
Epps no, Hepburn the rebound. 12 points a game for Chucky Hepburn, surging to the rim, little ball fake and kick out, and they'll set the offense.
Well, you'll see the Badgers do a lot of ball fakes in the paint because Illinois leads the conference in block shots.
Color analysts may not apply. Sorry, buddy.
It's all right. It's all good.
It's just true. You can't win.
Hey, I haven't had a check bounce yet, so I'm all good.
Oh, on the floor it goes. Klesmit tried to pluck it. Illinois trying to create a little odd man rush, and they did recover. Wisconsin for Danger. 2 chances, and he missed both.
Wow, a lot of contact on that shot there on the second attempt. Nice pursuit of the basketball by Danger.
He was looking around for an official to plead his case to and couldn't find one.
This is a key matchup. Matthew Meyer guarding Connor Sejan. Sejan coming off a career high against Maryland, 19.
Crowell misses the 3. He has not shot it well from 3 this year at 27%. Wisconsin is a top 60 team in the country from 3, and they got a lot of points from 3. As Meyer, hearing the air ball chant, leaves it short.
Matthew Meyer trying to be aggressive. Looked like he lost his footing there on his way to the rim.
Talking to Brad Underwood, he said, we cannot give them points off their cuts, as Klesmit to the foul line missed it in the rebound, Illinois.
Great hustle by Epps that time. That ball was coming right to Crowell. Jaden Epps got in the way.
We assume there will be points in this ball game, but both teams have opened 2 for 13 combined so far. There's one of those cuts, and they can't get the bucket with a Sejan.
And you know what? The officials have been consistent, letting a lot of contact go with the bucket.
Shannon carving the lane, and it tapped away. Klesmit got a hand in there.
Already seen the impact of Max Klesmit coming back for Wisconsin. Have a renewed sense of urgency and toughness to start this game.
Just a defensive effort, right?
Yes. He's got some moxie. He loves to compete.
Wall is fouled.
Top 3 scorers are all transfers, so still learning with this Illini group.
Some substitutions here. Shannon with his 2nd personal foul. So Ty Rogers is on the floor, the freshman from Saginaw. Carter Gilmore is on for Wisconsin, and Chucky Hepburn on a mid-range jumper misses.
Well, you're seeing some of the versatility of the Illini and what they can do with their roster. If you took an informal poll among Big Ten coaches, Illinois would be the most talented team in the league.
You think so?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. From man to man on the roster, no question.
Changes the matchup certainly here. Jordan Davis on the floor for Wisconsin.
Oh, Chucky Hepburn doing a really good job denying Hawkins the post up.
Meyer got hit, and he scores it. Klesmit the foul. We saw firsthand in Champaign what happens when Matthew Meyer is a little bit or a lot under the weather. He was that morning of the Indiana game. He played. He was 0 for, and Illinois did not look the same.
No, they didn't. And if Matthew Meyer is not producing, Illinois has enough firepower to overcome it, but they don't look as good as they can when he's balling.
Got the rebound there, sent it ahead through Epps, and Melendez misses the jumper. Knocked away by Meyer. You just see the activity on him and what he can create off a 12-8 game last time out.
And he's done an excellent job on the defensive end as well. 6 blocks against Michigan State. Talented crew. Wisconsin understanding that, gonna have to get the most of those opportunities.
Danger the screen, Meyer the miss, and the rebound to the corner, and Davis, who threw it to Gilmore's foot, which wasn't ready to catch the pass.
So we're gonna have fun today.
I think so. Yeah. The Big Ten is always fun. So many close ball games as Kamari McGee has come in off the bench for Greg Gard. Transfer from Green Bay.
With this lineup right here, Connor Siege has got to get it activated.
Gilmore took that shot and missed. And Illinois the other way. Meyer to the rim against Crowell, and it's 7-3 Illinois. Has a member of the Illini staff who paints those shoes. He's got 8 specialty shoes over the course of the season. Those will get auctioned off afterward, and he's become a little bit of a shoe guy because of that. Those are hand-painted, though. They show up as white shoes. His father, Glenn, who passed away in 2015. His mom, Connie, dealing with breast cancer as well. And so very close to the heart of both of these coaches.
And cancer affects every family in this country. And I think college basketball needs to be commended for the job they do in terms of raising funds for this effort.
Gilmore scores there. I agree with you. It touches so many people, and college basketball has done such a marvelous job. Our colleagues at this network, other networks together, raising money for the cause. Rogers.
This young man right here, Jason, is intriguing. To me, he's a jump shot away from being an NBA player.
Really? Former state player of the year in Michigan. His uncle, as you may have heard, was Jason Richardson, who played at Michigan State, and nearly 15 years in the NBA.
Watch Chucky Hepburn here with Sincere Harris guarding him. He can take advantage of this matchup.
Lost him for a moment. Harris recovered. Tipped by Melendez. Here's Davis with the left. He spun it out, and the tip by Crowell ends up with Melendez.
Boy, Terrence Shannon's got to be careful. Back on the floor with 2 fouls, and Davis aggressively going to the hole against him.
Brad Underwood playing him with 12 to go in the first half. See how much he needs him in the lineup. Danger out of bounds. Just grumbling over and over
just
again.
Steaming over
Niners. Biggest Eagles fan you could possibly imagine. All I'm going to talk about is the Niners. Here's a 3 for a Siege that won't fall, and Wisconsin is open 2 for 13.
Well, I think one of the reasons why this has been such a low-scoring first half, you've got 2 of the top scorers, both have 2 fouls. Terrence Shannon Jr., Illinois, and Tyler Wall, Wisconsin. You take 2 leading scorers out of the game, you're going to struggle offensively.
The thing about Illinois' defense, too, they are 14th in the country in 2-point defense. So getting in the lane and scoring is difficult, as Gilmore learned. Klesmit misses, it faded left, in danger of the rebound.
They did a good job collapsing on the attack on the buck at that time. Illinois trying to change up their defenses a little bit.
The crowd just came up the line and took it away from danger.
Stephen Crowell has really been the anchor for this Badgers ball club. They've had injuries around him, but he's been the one constant all season, and it's much improved on the offensive end.
Hepburn to the rim, missed the reverse. I thought he might pull up a little bit. Instead, he went for the reverse and missed it.
That was one of the prettiest missed layups I've seen in a while, I'll tell you that.
We might have a whole reel of missed layups by the end of the day. Melendez the miss and the rebound for Crowell.
R.J. Melendez did something very good there.
What's that?
They were supposed to swing it to the left. He fake passed and got an open look. He didn't convert, but that was a good job because Wisconsin was playing the scouting report.
Carter Gilmore bags his 5th 3 of the year for a Badger lead.
Well, some of his teammates on the bench smiling, recognizing that they need to check his birth certificate. It might be his birthday today because he got a gift.
Yeah, it's his first 3 since January 10th, and now Wisconsin has a little energy here. Into the corner, Gilmore gave it up for Klesman.
Well, Gilmore understands his game. Good job that time. Max Klesman had an open look. So it looks like this is going to be a set play as opposed to what their normal offensive set.
Hawkins denied the lane line. Meyer steps back and misses a 3. Marcus Ilver, the defense there. He plays only about 7 minutes a game, so Greg Gard going deep on the bench.
Marcus Ilver's going to be a player, though. He's got a lot of upside, a lot of game. Just needs more experience and a little bit more time in the weight room.
Young man from Estonia on the drive, lost his defender. Meyer went down, and Hawkins redirected it to Racine.
Talk about talent and skill set.
So talented, had a huge game last time against them, and Klesman takes the back door and scores.
Oh, that was pretty. Klesman using the rim as a defender against the shot blocker. Nice reverse layup. He's been the most aggressive Badger offensively to start this game.
Wisconsin has chiseled out a 7-0 run. Dane spinning baseline.
I see you, big fella. The footwork along the baseline and the dunk at the rim. Dane Danger. Very skilled post scorer. Nice move that time.
Hepburn, tough shot for Chucky Hepburn, and the rebound for Meyer, who's been really active the first 12 minutes, huh?
Yes, he has. He affects so many aspects of the game.
Epps in rhythm, missed it for 3. Ilver, the rebound, and a foul against Coleman. Hawkins. Should happen more often.
I agree.
19 points, not a lot of successful made shots. There was a successful marriage proposal, so we're doing okay during the break. Here at the Kohl Center, another bid for Klesman, and that goes down. 8 of the 13 for Wisconsin from Klesman.
You know, it is something to be said for young players that grow up wanting to play for a particular school. Max Klesman always wanted to be a Badger, and he responds like that. Knowing his team needs a lift, he's definitely giving them more.
The former Fox Valley Association Player of the Year in high school from here in the state of Wisconsin. Did not like having to be away from the team, did not like watching the game on TV, even though he did a marvelous job in the Northwestern game, Stephen. He was very happy to get on the court.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Davis misses the shot, Danger an easy rebound.
The Illini would like to pick up the tempo. Wisconsin's definitely got them at their pace. But when you find yourself in this situation, you've got to really execute in this half-court set.
Harris against Crowell, that didn't work for him. Danger, foul line, left-handed shot somehow climbs in.
Yeah, Dane's got some unorthodox looks, if I can get it out correctly. But soft touch, nice job that time. Sincere Harris going back to get that offensive rebound.
The way you said it still sounded a lot better than it looked. But it got the job done, and it's a 2-point game. Crowell digging. Oh, batted away by Danger. Davis up top catches front iron, and a foul called against Stephen Crowell. The 3 officials here today. Danger broke toward the rim, didn't see it on the high-low.
Boy, Stephen Crowell, excellent job denying the entry pass to Danger.
Meyer got Davis in the air. Fake a pass by Hawkins. Step back on Gilmore. Missed it for three. Crowell got a hand on it. The band started playing. It never went out of bounds. And here comes Hepburn. Esijan fouled. He'll go to the free throw line.
Slip that in.
I like it.
I like to keep the young viewers on their toes.
Yeah,
They've usually been really good at the free throw line and don't give you much room for error when you go against them.
Hepburn came to dig. Danger spun away from him.
Oh, man. That jump hook from 8 to 10 feet, Dane makes it look easy. That's not an easy attempt, even with Crowell all over.
Just 4 points in the first meeting for Danger. He's got 6 today. Gilmore didn't take it baseline. Crowell against Hawkins. Across the lane, Gilmore fed it right back.
That's great two-man basketball, Gilmore and Crowell. Because the lineup was switching very well that time. But better offense resulted in a layup.
We have what we can call an offensive explosion in the last couple of possessions. Hawkins, the kick to the corner. Melendez, iron on the reload. He was a little too strong.
Boy, Coleman Hawkins setting up the play, going to get the offensive rebound, setting them up once again.
Hepburn to the trailer. Crowell missed it for three.
I'll give these guys some credit on both sides. They're not hitting him, but they're letting them go.
Yeah, they keep shooting.
They keep shooting. You have to.
Understudy for Tyler Wall in our coverage. He was screening him so much, I thought he was playing the role of Tyler Wall in the game. Wisconsin by 3, under 4 to go in the half, and they're going to get an illegal screen. Do not count the basket for Esijan.
Tell you what, though, Matthew Meyer and counter Esijan can get hot quickly.
Dumped down for Danger. He's had a strong half, and he scores again. That's 8 for Danger.
Hey, Danger needs more shots. I've been saying that all season. That guy can score in the post, put pressure on the opposing team's front line. If you don't double him, he's going to shoot a high percentage.
Not only does he have 8, he has the last 8. Ilver, too strong for 3. Danger maybe showing some of the positive effects of being there for the spring semester after the transfer from Baylor, got here to practice with the team for a semester.
And it helps to go against Kofi Coburn every day in practice as well.
Can't hurt, maybe hurts your feelings for a while, but
it hurts your breastplate.
It's a miss for Meyer.
Carter Gilmore has had some positive minutes for the Badgers. Let's see it. He can remain aggressive here.
He's got 5 points for himself already in the lane against Hawkins. Second chance, he didn't go up with it right away. Ilver wants another one, and that one's too strong.
Ilver knew that was off the minute he let it go. He was trying to chase it down. Every time you see a shooter do that, they know the shot is off.
You wouldn't know that feeling at all. I don't think that ever happened to you.
It happened more often than I'd like to admit.
We burned the video. We have a 3-second call against Illinois.
Start to feel good about yourself. See the ball go through the hoop.
Gilmore against Hawkins. One-on-one. Gilmore couldn't get to the right. The left is denied. He crashes into Meyer, and open looks have been hard to come by, especially ones that have gone down so far. But a tight ball game and a foul called against Illinois. 2 schools.
He's proud of programs, for sure.
Ilver on the drive this time. Oh, absolutely pasted by Danger. Hawkins nearly lost the ball. Meyer bags a 3, and Illinois takes the lead.
Boy, that is, Danger is playing himself the first half. In a half where things have been hard to come by offensively. He has been the best player in the Illini jersey on both ends of the floor so far.
There were sparks coming off that basketball. He spiked against the backboard. Klesmit missed it for three.
Great challenge by Hawkins once again.
A lot of signaling from the Illini bench. Epps in charge of the steering wheel under a minute to go in the first half.
Oh, Carter Gilmore read that beautifully. Trying to deny Dane the basketball.
Sharp spin. He was denied by Gilmore again. 5 to shoot. Epps has to hustle to the rim. He gets there and scores.
Great quickness by Epps.
Well, this looks like it's going to be the lowest scoring first half in the Big Ten so far this year. 41 was the number. Unless you got a 6-point play in you. Chucky Hepburn.
Anybody's capable, Chucky is.
Had that huge shot against Purdue last year. He plays it for Gilmore, and he missed the three. There's your horn, and that is the end.
Hip-hop artist, his hometown, Brick City.
Nice.
Because that's what it would have been more descriptive of the first half.
Stephen Bardo spinning the hits between 3 and 6 this afternoon. There is 2 very quickly for Shannon, who jumps right into it.
Yeah, that's the same action that Illinois started the game with, getting Terrence going to his left hand down the lane. He's top wing in the conference. When you take him out, you lose a ton on the offensive side. I'm sure Greg Gard is okay with that. Connor Season is a talented freshman and one of the few that can make a bucket for them right now.
Meyer misses. That helium ball finally plucked by Wall. Wisconsin missed its last 8 shots of the first half. Illinois on a 9-0 run now.
Chucky Hepburn 0-5 in the first half. He's got to figure out a way to shake Terrence Shannon Jr. and get loose on the offensive end. Wisconsin, in my opinion, is going to have a chance.
Wall against Hawkins to score. First 2 for Tyler Wall.
Great patience by Tyler Wall. Still trying to get back to 100% from that ankle injury. Showed a little lift there.
Yeah, nice to see for Badger fans. Hepburn met Epps.
Yep.
Thought he might go up with it. Meyer for 2.
That's that size advantage that Matthew Meyer has a lot of times in Big Ten play when he's going against opposing wings. Good 5 inches over Connor Season.
List price 6'9", 225 for Meyer. Wall playing inside. Yeah, he did.
I thought that was the correct call.
Epps cuts to the rim for 2.
Now, that's the second time he's done that in 2 consecutive possessions. The first time he didn't go to look to score.
That's
that time he did. To look for the pass. The first time he caught it, I think he was surprised he got the catch.
Shannon floater changing in midair, and the rebound redirect got away from danger. Davis missed it for 3. Rebound Hepburn. Wall against Hawkins. Tyler Wall rims it in. He's got 4 in the second half.
What makes Tyler Wall so good in the post, when he goes to shoot sometimes, Jason, he's not even looking at the bucket. He's spinning in midair and able to locate. Boy, look at Matthew Meyer. Smooth from the outside. Shot maker. Continues to play outstanding basketball for the Illini.
13 total for Meyer today.
The thing is with Matthew Meyer, he does it so easy, Jason. And a lot of times you may not know how good he's been.
That is, there should be confetti coming from the Kohl Center ceiling. Hepburn for 2, that's no good. And it nearly popped back up toward the rim.
You know, we talk about Chucky Hepburn's struggles, but you got to give Terrence Shannon Jr. some credit. He is all over him and making things very difficult.
Tough time for Chucky Hepburn, too, as Meyer gets to the rim and
put on the jets to get to the rim. Good concentration.
3-point play for Meyer. I was mentioning Chucky Hepburn.
Vincent Burns, yep, his friend was a victim of a shooting situation and passed away, and Chucky was really in the funk. I got a chance to talk to him before the game and gave him a big hug and wished him the best and made him understand that anybody going through that situation is going to be affected, and hopefully that he can recover.
Well, and you know, he did last year on the basketball court, that big shot at the end of the year against Purdue, but you can completely understand it weighing on him in the last couple of days around that very time.
No doubt about it. It would affect all of us in a similar fashion.
Certainly so. 3 to shoot. That's a reach in. It's Sejan. There's some seeking out of contact. Oh boy, that's 4 on Tyler Wall.
Well, the silver lining might be Carter Gilmore was pretty good in the first half.
He certainly was. Oh, that was whistled hard in there by Shannon.
I'm not sure if that pass is going to get through. There was a lot of traffic there.
It's a turnover. The Badgers create. Klesmit got denied the lane. Off the shot fake, Klesmit on the kick, extra pass. Hepburn, nice recovery by the Illini. Chucky Hepburn, oh, he likes that spot here at the Kohl Center. It's a 6-point game.
And you saw the expression on his face. He's like, man, it's about time. So now you're going to see a better effort from Chucky Hepburn, I guarantee it.
He didn't bank that one in, but it was not far from where he gave them a share of the Big Ten title last year. Meyer, step back, no go, out of bounds to Illinois.
Chucky Hepburn and a little wink.
He's still got a smile on his face
a
little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Shannon wants a shot. Missed it short, rebound Crowell. Thought maybe Hepburn would swing himself into another shot. Instead, Klesmit.
But you know, as poorly as both teams have shot the basketball, especially on the Wisconsin side, it's only a 6-point game.
Yep.
You know, and so both teams are well within reach of one another. It's just one of these Saturday afternoon games, late January, the Big Ten.
Got to shake off whatever happens in the first however many minutes. If this ends up being a 2-possession game, doesn't matter how low scoring it is.
That's right.
And that's where we are now. The Wisconsin bench trying to whoop up the crowd. Harris nearly lost it in the backcourt. And a near on the challenge by Klesmit steal. Shannon leaning on Crowell on a foul. And Shannon makes the free throw.
Every time he gets to the bucket.
That's his 110th made free throw of the year to lead the Big Ten. And a 7-point lead for the Illini.
Great scorers know how to get themselves going offensively. A lot of different ways, from the free throw line, get to the bucket, getting an open jumper.
Big picture, you can kind of get your team on track offensively too by getting yourself to the foul line. Tough thread through by Crowell. Not a big keyhole to spin that through, and an interception, Illinois. Shannon mid-stride, down the back door, it's out of bounds. He's got worn out by the defense in this game so far. Shannon fouled by Klesmit. It looked like the slide happened first.
Yes.
And good job by the officials to talk it over. Hepburn sways into a three.
Remember I said Chucky Hepburn, I guaranteed he was going to play better. He just needed that first 3 to go.
Well, you called it. You saw it on his face after the first make.
Yep.
Another one quickly thereafter, and a foul called as Hepburn. Ty Rogers in for Sincere Harris. Melendez tees it up and misses a 3. Rebound Klesmit once again. He has been digging hard for those boards so far today. Crowell behind the play. Knocks it down. Here come the Badgers. The loudest swell of the day in Madison. placed, got himself a three. It's no good. Wisconsin can take the lead.
Yeah, that was a poor shot attempt by Meyer. I know he's hot. But in this scenario, when Wisconsin's making a run, you got to have high percentage looks.
Hepburn wants to be fast. Loud, and rightfully so.
Chucky Hepburn going back in his bag.
Timeout, Illinois. You realize that Wisconsin just didn't play without him a whole lot last year.
That's right.
And when he's on the floor, they are a different team. And when he is shooting well, they're a different team. Danger goes up high for the rebound for a second chance, and Shannon, offensive foul on the lean in. That when he went out, Wisconsin was down 9, so this is all without Tyler Wall on the floor.
Yep. So Chucky Hepburn has risen to the occasion, as has Max Klesmit. And see if this trend continues for the Badgers.
Hepburn, that serpentine dribble. Got him a three moments ago. Crowell in the lane against Danger, who raked it away from him.
Danger's got great wingspan, and it allows him to get blocks and slap downs like that without fouling. That's an excellent defense.
Sejan hit the deck for a moment. They didn't get anything out of it yet. Meyer, shot fake, step back for three. That was nasty.
Yes, it was. Up fake, step back, Matthew Meyer, and his facial expression doesn't change. That's what I like. He's got one of the best poker faces in the game.
Well, you have the mean mug, but that was a mean mustache. Hepburn down the lane, and Chucky's rolling now, too.
Oh, it's so good to see Chucky Hepburn back. And we understand why he was struggling, but boy, he's risen to the occasion here in the second half.
There is a sensibility about him right now, a feeling that he's going to do something big today. Meyer as well. Danger with a power dribble and a foul against Wisconsin. Beautiful offense there. The headline news for Wisconsin is the 4th foul against Crowell, as Danger has really scuffled at the foul line this year, 30 for 62. So now Greg Gard is going to play tag with the bigs. Wall is in with 4. Crowell is out with 4.
And so Carter Gilmore is going to be charged with guarding Dane Danger and look for Wisconsin to try to help defensively in the post.
First point of the half for Danger here in the second. There's the foul trouble for both teams. Illini by 1. Passing ends up with Wall against Hawkins. Put the body into him, to the lane. Back behind as Sejan missed it for 3.
Boy, Wisconsin got a good look, and that was good team defense that time by Illinois. Double teaming Wall, making him kick it out.
Sejan frustrated, a hard clap as he settles into the defensive possession. Gilmore takes the brunt of that from Meyer, and he had to kick it out. Oh, Meyer wants it right now. He wants to shoot a 3 from the wing. They did not get him the ball. Epps instead triggers and knocks it down.
Boy, Jay Epps, that's big time. And Coleman Hawkins yet again setting up his teammates beautifully.
Wall, no answer. Rebound Epps.
The Illini were content with allowing Ball to take that look.
Takes a moment for himself, the freshman out of Norfolk, who just hit a big 3 for Illinois. Melendez, met by a CJ. Oh! Right! And he absolutely made a poster!
RJ Melendez taking some frustration out on the rim. What a move! Now they're back healthy. See what kind of response they can give the Illini.
Sejan missed it front iron. Rebound collected by Illinois and Shannon.
I'll remind our viewers that Sejan's coming off a career high 19 at Maryland, so uncharacteristic of him not to hit some of those 3 looks.
I think he thought that last one was in. He had 19 of the 55. That's a kick ball for Chucky Hepburn. Fairly unfortunate there because he had the hand in the passing lane.
Chucky Hepburn, one of the best on-ball defenders in the league. 4th in the Big Ten in steals, and he's a heady player.
Earlier on, he had his first turnover in 3 games, by the way, as Shannon catches the iron. Second chance, Meyer right on the doorstep.
Too big, just too tall, too athletic. Great pursuit of the rock.
Baylor's transfer Meyer having an enormous day here in Madison with 21. Wall has 4 fouls, and it's going to be an arm in his back on Coleman Hawkins. The 3rd foul on Hawkins did not make him very happy.
Well, Coleman Hawkins is trying. He knows what Wall's going to do. He's going to try to back him down. I guess Brooks Wells thought he extended the arm. I didn't see it.
Ball there. Wall banging into Hawkins. Wall turns left and had it blocked by Hawkins.
That's a heck of a defensive play.
Especially after picking up a foul. Meyer got Hepburn in the air, weaving down the lane. Nearly got a 3-point play out of the deal.
And the thought process in that was so good. You thought he was going to shoot a 3. He up fake. He put it on the deck. He gets Decision into the paint. Look at this. He loses Hepburn, navigates into the paint. He's got the size advantage over Decision. That's a high basketball IQ play by Meyer.
Would you call it the top mustache in the Big Ten?
It might be the only mustache. I got to look around the league, but he's definitely rocking it.
He's just tied his career high with 22, and we saw firsthand what Illinois looks like when he's under the weather in that Indiana game about a week and a half ago. Totally different team. Career high of 23 and a 10-point lead for the Illini.
This is what makes the Illini so dangerous. Terrence Shannon Jr. is 1 of 4 from the field this afternoon. And yet the Illini have a 10-point lead on the road.
Foul on the rebound. Meyer looked like he climbed for it, and Wall had boxed him out. Meyer's 2nd, 6 on Illinois. In a game that's seen 10 Illini free throws, 4 for Wisconsin so far.
Yeah, not many. And that's usually the norm when you play a Wisconsin Badger team. Not a lot of fouls, not a lot of turnovers, less possessions in the game.
Wisconsin has not shot it very well from 3. 7 for 23, 30% for the day. So they'll go inside with 4 fouls. Crowd put him in the blender.
Beautiful move. Starts on the inside, reversal to the baseline, loses danger.
Meyer thought about coiling into the 3. Instead, he's going to run around with Decision for a moment. Meyer did get a look and splashes it in.
Meyer called his own number. Loved the matchup against Crowd. Gets to his spot. Elevates with confidence.
No shot here. Wave it off. And a foul against Illinois. 26. 18 in the second half for Meyer.
You see right here, he gets the matchup he wants. He knows Crowd is hesitant to close out on the 3. Elevates with confidence.
So Klesmit gets a 1-and-1 here. There was no shot on the play, and the front end is no good. Big miss for Wisconsin there. Down 11, 6 minutes to go.
So when you've lost 5 of your last 6, as Wisconsin has, and you find yourself in this position, those shots become much more pressurized.
Coleman Hawkins, no. Yes for Shannon out of nowhere.
That's how scorers score. Their shot is not falling. They figure out ways to get on the board. Nice offensive rebound and putback.
You would know better than I, but did you not hear an ILL-INI chant here at the Kohl Center?
Well, the Illini fan base is one of the strongest in the country. They travel well.
So you see all the Illini fans. Defense struggles one game. He stepped on the sideline. Turnover is Decision. defense struggles against Maryland. A lot of straight line drives, 73 points allowed. Today, they keep Illinois at 52 right now. They're probably going to be under their average. Scoring's just not there.
No, it's not. And, you know, when Wall goes out that early in the game, you take your leading scorer out for a team that doesn't score the basketball a ton to begin with, and you're playing uphill the rest of the way.
Wisconsin was down 20-16 at the half. Both teams have easily cleared their first half output. Hawkins almost figured, why not? Now they'll bleed some clock down. Epps on Wall, driving hard, scooping and scoring.
I'm telling you, Jaden Epps is balling. I mean, he's made some upperclassmen decisions this afternoon.
When Brett Underwood was talking about Trent Frazier as a possible comparison, I said, does he want the ball like Frazier, Epps? And he said, absolutely.
Oh, he was a prolific scorer in high school in the Tidewater area. So he's quite comfortable in those low shot clock situations.
Oh, big collision over on the sideline. He's going to get an NIL deal with a mouthguard company. It's become his signature there.
I'm always amazed at those players that can do that. And it's instinctive. You know, he's not thinking about it at all.
Yeah, we barely could eat and look at stats at the same time at halftime. Hawkins, entry feed, danger. 4 to shoot, double comes. Hawkins, a hard drive and a big slap will get him 2 free throws.
Yeah, that's good two-man basketball by Hawkins and Danger. Danger gets double. Hawkins cuts to the bucket. He receives the pass, draws a contact. Starts his move, knows the double's coming. Hawkins knows it, gets it back, draws contact. It's not that Wisconsin has played poorly, Jason. It's just that the Illini in the second half have made some great decisions whenever they've had possessions. They've had very few empty possessions this half.
And how about this, Steven? The Illini up 17, and those are the first 2 points for Coleman Hawkins all day.
And he's had a heck of a ball game where he's impacted the game in so many different ways.
This is a 19-2 run that will stay that way. Wall tried to spike it back in. It's a turnover and a timeout.
Playing like a junior or senior rather than a freshman.
Tremendous stuff here today. Myers got a career high, and the Illini have clamped down again defensively. This is a 22-4 run since the Badgers took a 35-34 lead today. Meyer believes he can get whatever he wants.
But he's got to go.
Leaning in. No.
Wisconsin going to have to be quicker than they would prefer in their half-court sets. Try to get some threes.
Wall whirling in the lane. He's got 2 right there. It's a 15-point game, and the Badgers, who opened 11-2, they've got a win against USC, the big win at Marquette that you were at in Milwaukee. But the losses have piled up recently. They could fall to 12-8 today. And right on that edge of the NCAA tournament bubble as we open the book on February in a couple of days.
Well, the positive thing for Wisconsin, if they're not able to have this comeback today, that they'll have opportunities in the Big Ten.
Ooh, Coleman Hawkins, lethal shot from the baseline.
Boy, that's when you know it's going well for you. But Wisconsin will have opportunities in the Big Ten to get some quality wins. But they need to take advantage of those opportunities coming up.
Klesmit bags a jumper in front of the bench and a timeout, Greg Gard.
Also, that February 11th game, Rutgers against Illinois, that's going to be a whale of a game as well.
They have played some great ones in recent years. Rutgers going to the State Farm Center in Champaign. Here, Illinois looking for a sweep of Wisconsin. It would be a 6th straight win over the Badgers after Wisconsin had won 15 straight prior to those 6 in a row, as this is touched out of bounds by Klesmit. 7 to shoot.
It's
But you see all the Illini folks here. Who says people don't take selfies when they're like past 30? Right? It's not just for the kids, okay?
That's right.
Yeah. Hepburn on the drive. Got to the rim for 2. It's a 12-point game.
And see, here's the thing. Wisconsin, these are important possessions right now because you've got to develop some sort of chemistry and confidence moving forward. It looks like they may drop 6 of their last 7 games if they can't close this deficit.
Again, after opening 11-2 this year, a strong start for the Badgers, and Gilmore the reach-in.
This is the winningest program in the Big Ten in the last 4 years. They've won more road games than any Big Ten program in the last 4 years. So, you know, they certainly have the history. They've got the talent. And it seems like they're starting to come together as a unit.
The other scary part is they're never really out of games either.
True.
I mean, they were down 10 to Texas. They were down 15 to UCLA, and they won both those games. And when you talk about seed lines and where Illinois might end up.
They lost at Arizona. They still look like a national title contender.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's a big feather in the cap for the Illini.
We will see Arizona coming up in mere moments when we leave the Kohl Center as the Siegen goes 2 for 2. The addition of Epps into the starting lineup for Brad Underwood is a move that he's made, a chess piece that he's shifted the last couple of games, and it's played very well.
Yeah, it has, and he's shown that he's got a lot of maturity. He can take care of the basketball.
Hawkins got fouled.
Yeah, Klesmit was a little mad that the officials thought they wanted to stop the clock a little sooner than that. But good sign for Wisconsin to get Klesmit back in the mix because he makes a huge difference as one of the guys today that when everyone else was struggling in the first half, he was one of the few guys that could generate some offense.
Yeah, he had 8 of their 16, half of their points in the first half for Klesmit. But, you know, you talk about desperation, and Coleman Hawkins, by the way, tried to English that shot in. Like, he arched his back and looked back at his teammates as if to say, I couldn't get it to go. That one, he just threw his hands in the air. Like, what has life wrought? What am I doing wrong? Hepburn the miss. Hawkins can't even come up with that rebound. He's going to be really frustrated as he grabs this one. Goes back to the free throw line and tries to battle basketball karma.
That was an example of the length of the Illini. Wisconsin got an offensive rebound. Klesmit had a little bit of space, and they closed quickly with Hawkins and Meyer at the rim, forcing a miss.
I mean, this is like the old human battle against yourself and against the rim. He's talking to himself a little bit as he goes to the free throw line. He missed 2. This one's no good. And he is so frustrated right now, it looks.
Well, one of the downsides of this young man's game, because he doesn't have many, is his mental approach sometimes. He gets in his head, and he's his own worst enemy at times. He's so talented, and he overthinks the game at times, but when he's locked in, he is really, really good.
I only chuckle because it's a very human thing to feel like, okay, this one I got.
Yep.
And then your mechanics are great, whatever you're doing, you put it up there and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's not happening either.
Well, and he's got a small margin of error on his shot because it's kind of flat. It's almost a line drive, so, but he's effective with it.
He has had a whale of a season for Illinois in spots, including against Wisconsin. I mean, Coleman Hawkins, the first time, hit 6 threes. He was good on the glass today. Overall, Meyer was the star for the Illini with 26 points. And Illinois has come into the Kohl Center where the Badgers had lost 63 times ever and come away with a sweep in the regular season.
Oh, this Illini team is impressive, and they continue to build.
Hepburn at the horn, got himself a 3. That's his 3rd of the second half, and that is that. Illinois now has won 6 of 7.